Well, hi everybody and welcome. I'm so glad you're able to join me tonight. I'm Noreen from Organized and Creative Mom, if you're just joining for the first time. Tonight we are going to make a fun little mini album. Really easy. You know that I love to make things easy, make them pretty, make them easy. And this one is great because it can be used as a Christmas album, which we're going to make tonight. But it can also be adapted to any occasion. You can give it as a gift just as is and let the recipient, add in photos. You could add in photos of, say, your kids and send this off to, grandparents as a Christmas gift. That would be just lovely for them. Or as I'm going to do, you can use it to basically be your December daily album. Now, if you're not familiar with December daily, I always send you guys over to AllieEdwards.com. She is the originator of the December daily concept. I've been making them for probably 10 years now. And I love how by focusing on the things that are happening, the stories that are happening throughout December amidst the hustle and bustle of getting ready for the holidays, I love how kind of creating this little album and focusing on the everyday moments makes you kind of slow down and breathe a little and enjoy the things that are happening. So instead of just having everything as a checklist, something to mark off, cross off your list, get done, get it over with, it actually helps you kind of remember all the joyful moments, all the celebrations that we have going into the Christmas season. We say it's the most wonderful time of the year. I love celebrating the whole month. So I kind of call it my December days. I've heard it called Documenting December. And of course, all of these stem back to the December Daily by Allie Edwards. So make sure you go over and check that out if you haven't already. Okay, so I'm gonna flip us over here, and some of you probably saw this cute little album on the Facebook page today, or maybe on Instagram, and it's really fun because it's interactive as well, and that's what I love about it. All of these little tabs at the top here, they just pull out, and you've got more room for photos. So there's 3 of those. There's 2 little pockets that you can put photos into. And then we've got these fun little flaps as well. So it's very interactive, yet it's very easy to make. Okay. All of the instructions will be in this little handout that I have for you. It's a free handout, including all the cutting guides, which I'm going to walk you through, and then step-by-step instructions, okay, layouts for the inside, and then pictures of all of my pages, okay? So what I plan to do tonight is to go through the cutting guides and show you how to assemble the album. And then I think you guys can probably figure out how to do the page decorating by yourself and use the handout for that. So you need 4 pieces of paper, and then you need 3 cardstock. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of dark green cardstock and 1 piece of red. The dark green is going to be the album bases and pages, and the red for this one is going to be the tabs that pull out, so these little separate tabs, okay? Now the reason I made this with the stickers, of course we know that there's a couple of other options for the Merry Little Christmas, but I didn't want to put that in the guide and show it to you on my sample album because that, of course, is not available right now. So we're sticking with the stickers, good old stickers. You can't go wrong with them, and there's some real benefits to using the stickers that I will show you later, okay? So again, the supplies are all listed on here. 3 pieces of cardstock, 4 pieces, of paper, coordinating embellishments of some kind, and then your basic toolkit. Trimmer with the scoring blades and the cutting blades. A border punch. I'm going to be using the Dazzle border punch, but you want to use something that only punches along an edge. You don't want to end up with a separate border strip. So you want to use an edge border punch. You could definitely use one of the Border Maker cartridges that punch only on the edge. We're also going to use the 2-way corner rounder, tape, runner adhesive, and then some optional supplies. So I'm using some washi tape. last year, or no, 2 years ago in the Merry Little Christmas, no, it was called Merry and Bright card kit. We got some cute red polka dot washi tape. We've got some black in one of the Halloween, and then we also had red flowers and stripes, and that would work as well. Okay, if you don't have washi tape, no worries. I'm going to give you an option for something different. Okay, so that's optional. A hole punch. That's if you want to punch a little hole in the top of your tab. And then, of course, ribbon or twine for that. So as I mentioned, when you get your handout, you'll see that your cardstock is going to get cut. There's just two ways to cut it. We're going to cut 2 pieces into 6x12 strips. Okay, and then we're going to use the wonderful technique that was shared with on the Creative Memories Facebook page of cutting 4 5x7 mats or pieces out of 1 piece of cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we're actually going to cut one of those into 2 smaller pieces for those little flaps. And this little piece in the center, this little 1-inch square, that is the only waste we're going to have out of all of our papers. Okay, so let's do this really quickly. I would normally cut 2 pieces of cardstock at once, but I have mentioned this before. The dark green is quite thick. So to get a good cut, just cut that in single sheets. If I was cutting 2 pieces of red, I'd have no trouble cutting them together. Okay, so there is my, I'm just taking, if you didn't know, all of the extra blades hang out in the back of the trimmer. I'm just taking out my scoring blade now, switching that out, and now I'm going to score each one of these at 6 inches. And then I'm just going to fold them and set them aside. All right, so these green sheets are going to be my base pages for my album. Okay, so let's take out the scoring blade, put this one back in. Now, the trick to this magical cut here is that on our trimmer, on the side, both sides actually, of the blade housing, you'll see this white line. And when the white line stops at a measurement along the side here, that's a great way to do your measuring. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our piece of cardstock in at 5 inches. Okay, now because you can't always look over at the side to see where that little white line is, know that the trimmer housing is 2 inches. So when this corner of the trimmer stops at 8 here on my, I don't know if you can see that, let me get it up a little closer. You see how there's measurements on that track right along here? So when this corner of my housing gets to 8, I know that the white mark is at the 7, okay? And then we're going to do a magic turn and keep going. Okay, so I'm at 5 here. I'm going to cut down to 7, lift and turn clockwise. Then I'm going to put this corner at 5, do the same thing, push down until I get to 7. Okay, and that's 1 5x7 piece. Turn it again, clockwise again, put it at 5, roll it down till the blade stops at 7. That's your second piece. One more turn, 5, and now we can just go all the way through. And there's your last 2 pieces. Okay, so that is not my trick. It was shared with us. Diane Lampert from Creative Memories Home Office showed us how to do that, and it's brilliant. And this, as I said, is the only piece of scrap that we are going to have. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. All right, so these are going to be our inserts. Before I put my trimmer aside for this one, we're going to take one of these 5x7 pieces, and we're going to cut it in half to make 2 5x3.5-inch flaps. I don't know if there's a better word for those, but those are the little pieces that we're going to add in right here. Okay, so let's just cut that really quick. 3.5. Okay, So those are my cards and my inserts and my little flaps. Let's just set this aside and let's make the album. Okay, so I have all 4 pieces folded, and I'm going to line up the spines here, line up the folded edges. So all of these are going to be the pages. Now what you need to remember is that we are going to glue the back of one side to the front of the other side. So they're going to come together like that. These 2 pages in the middle will be glued together, and then we're going to continue adding on at the back so that our album has all the pages. What we want to do though is that we want to make a pocket for these pages. So it's going to fit in just like that. So you can see that we need to put the adhesive only around each side, the edge of each side, and along the bottom. Okay, so let's do that. So again, I have them all stacked up here. Take the first one and turn it over to the back. We're just going to put adhesive as close to the edge as we can. You can always fold it in if we go over a little bit. All along the bottom and all along the sides. Okay, turn it again. So see how I went over there? So just fold that over like that, and down here too. Okay, so just fold it over so that this is the back and it's facing up. This is the front of the next one and it's facing down, and we're going to add those 2 together. And I can't do it kind of any other way than stacking them on top. Okay, so you see I didn't get it quite even there. No worries, we have a little bit of lead time here. Get it as even as you can. You can always trim off any extra little bits after. Okay, let me just make sure that's down. Okay, so now we see that we've got a pocket at the top, and that's where this card is going to slide into. Okay? Now we've got this lovely little mini album that has all of these pages, right? We get a total of 8 interior pages plus the front and the back, and then 3 pockets, 3 inserts, sorry, that will go into the pockets. Now at this point you can certainly do some corner rounding. You can round all of these. You can round the top edges of your inserts, and you can round the sides of the little flaps. Okay, so I'm going to keep referring back to this. Okay, so you can see how all my edges are rounded here, and that little flap is rounded. Okay, now we're just going to set this all aside, and we're going to quickly cut our 4 pieces of pattern paper. On the next page of the handout, you will see all 4 of the cutting guides. You can see that most of them are very straightforward. First page, we're going to cut into 4 6x6s, then 6 4x6s, another 6 4x6s, with one of them cut into 2 inch by 6 inch strips. And then this one is the most, it's not challenging, but it's got the most cutting. So I think you guys can probably figure out this one quite easily. How about if I just cut this one, and then I'll show you how we're going to put it all together. Okay, so the other thing to know about this one is that obviously you have the most pieces of this particular paper. So for me, that was this polka dot paper that had Merry Christmas on the back. So this is the 1 inch strip, lots of the little triangles. Okay, you see the strip that goes across the bottom of this page, the inserts. Okay, those are all the same. And then that continues on. So again, more inserts, more triangles, and then the 1 inch strip on the back. So my suggestion is whatever paper you love the most, cut it according to cutting guide number 4. It's actually cutting guide number 6. It's the 4th pattern paper, but cutting guide number 6. Okay, so we're going to go through this really quickly, and you'll see it is not a problem to do this. The first row basically is 3 by 5. So we're going to cut it at 5, and then cut that into 4 3-inch pieces. Okay, now the other tip I have in here is once you've done all your cutting, keep the papers that are all the same size stacked together, because that's going to be a lot easier when you go to actually make your pages. Okay, the next cut, we're going to make 3-inch by 3-inch squares, and then we're going to cut them into triangles. So 3 inches. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now. Then we're going to go back 3, 3, and 3. And then each one of these squares is going to get cut into triangles. So I'm going to stack 2 squares, put them in my trimmer so that the top and bottom point are on the line. And that way I'll get my triangles very quickly. Okay, there we go. There's all my triangles. Then I need 3-inch by 6-inch, so 2 of the 3-inch by 6-inch. So we've got another 3 inches here. Okay, I'm going to turn that and cut at 6. So 3 by 6. These were 3 by 5s, triangles, and 3 by 6s. And then our last little skinny strip, 1 by 6. So 2 1 by 6s. So all we have to do is trim that. Okay. So that is how fast all of the cutting gets done. Why don't I just go ahead and do this real quick? Okay, I think this one is going to be my 6 by 6s. So 4 6 by 6 squares, and I'm going to keep those all stacked. Okay, let's do this one with cutting guide number 4, which is 4 by 6 rectangles. Okay, and I like to stack all 3. Cut it at 6. So there's 6 4 by 6 rectangles. And then this last one is the only other one that has kind of an extra cut. We're going to make 6 4 by 6 rectangles, and then just cut 1 into a 2 by 6. Sorry, 4 by 6. There we go. So fast. And I love that our new trimmer is so reliable. You don't have to spend a ton of time making sure things are lined up. Nice straight cut. Oops, see, I didn't go quite deep enough. Sorry. Nice straight cuts every time. So I'm going to put 5 of these on my 4 by 6 pile, and then the last one I'm just going to cut in half so that I have 2 2 by 6s. Okay, and that's all the cutting. So I'm going to put that away. So again, probably what, 2 or 3 minutes to cut all of that. Okay, again, there's all of the instructions in there to make the album, and then we move on to our album pages. So as you can see, let me just kind of go through this real quick with you while this is out. You can see that each one of the pages is one of these layouts. So there is the inside album page with a border. So I just took my, you can see right there that it says 1 4 by 6 piece of pattern paper, and then a 2 by 6 pattern paper, optional to punch a border design. Okay, so for my page, I'm going to take a 2 by 6, and then I can select one of my 4 by 6s, and again, because you can use both pages, both sides, you can select what you want. So I could punch this and then just add this, and that's my page. okay? So basically, after you do your cutting, you're just following the instructions on each of these album pages. It even tells you how many you can make. So you can make 2 of these pages, 2 of these pages, 1, 1, 2, and then this one refers to our cards, which you're going to have 3 of. For the spine, this spine covering is made up of 1 of your 4x6 pieces of pattern paper. All right, and all we're going to do is we're going to punch both sides of it. So again, I'm using the dazzle punch. So we're going to take the dazzle punch in this case, and we want to make it nice and even. So on a 6-inch piece, you can basically slide it in right into the middle, get it as even as you can on both sides, punch, slide it this way. Okay, so you can see it didn't punch fully, but that's going to make it even. And then we slide it back in and go to this side and punch. So again, not a full punch on each side, but that's way better than having full punch, and then skinny little edge. Okay, so again, we're going to flip it around and do the opposite side. Center it in your punch. Move it to one side. Then move it to the other side. Oh, that might look a little weird. Oh no, it wasn't too bad. Okay, phew. All right, so that's what it will look like. And again, I show that to you right in the guide, okay? So you can see that that's what it looks like when I've punched both sides. Then all we do, you can use whichever side you want. Let's fold it this way. Actually, you can see it better this way. So we're going to gently fold it in half, not a complete fold, but just enough to kind of make that crease. And then you add your adhesive on both sides, and we just slide it around and adhere it. Okay, so that's how we make our binding cover, and then that will cover up all of these kind of folded edges that we glued together. All right, so that's how this one is going to look. Okay, isn't that cute? Now I did want to say that I was fooling around a little bit with the fabulous new Ornate Arches punch, which is the join gift for new Creative Memories advisors. And this is an example of what the punch makes. It creates a perfect doily. And if you folded that, if you happen to have one of these Ornate Arches punches, if you folded that in half, that would be a super sweet little binding cover as well. And it'll fit because it's 6 inches. So you've got some options for the binding there. Now the last thing I want to show you, let me just, I'm going to make up one page here real quick for you. I'm going to punch one of my 2-inch borders in the same way. I'm going to make a page for you and then put the little flap in there. Where'd my adhesive go? Okay, a little bit of regular adhesive, a little bit of repositionable on the punched area. Okay, that's going to go down like that. Okay, so I'm making this type of page. So again, a border punch on a 2x6 inch strip, and then a 4x6 pattern paper. Let's choose this one. Okay, and then that one's just going to go in like that, so that you're going to see some of the background. Now, a couple things. This is the good opportunity to take your scissors, flip over your page, and anything that's not quite even, just give it a little haircut. Okay, and then you can also use your corner rounder and round the extra piece of paper that you just added. Okay, I find that it's easier to do that way rather than get all of your paper on top and then try to corner around it, because in some cases you're going through 3 or 4 different layers. All right, so let's add one of these cute little flaps. So basically all you're going to do is put it right along there and get your washi tape. You can rip it, you can cut it, you can do whatever. And we're going to just pop that right down, flip it over, and then add another piece of washi tape on the opposite side. And that basically just acts like a little hinge so that your flap will open and close. Okay, now if you don't have washi tape, you could use one of the sticker strips. So you could just cut that to length. It would be about 5 inches there, right? And you could put that down on that side and then cut another piece and put that down on the other side. Okay, so if you don't have washi tape, don't worry. You can definitely use the sticker strips. I do want to just show you. I developed this little album when I was teaching a Halloween mini album class for the Creative Scrapbooker magazine, Great Canadian Scrapbook Carnival back in September. So I did it with Wicked Cute, and of course I think it's wicked cute. I love it, and I'm going to be putting some pictures. I'm going to have to dig back through some of the photos of the boys because of course they don't really dress up much anymore, and Wicked Cute deserves some cute little ghosts and goblins. Okay, so you can definitely adapt that same idea whether you are doing it for a Christmas album, a birthday album, wedding, you know, whatever, any kind of celebration. So you can definitely reuse this whole idea again and again and again. Okay. One other thing I want to tell you is that because I have quite a stock, I'm actually offering these as pre-cut kits. So you'd get all of the pieces to make the album base, the pockets, and all of the decorative pieces, plus a sticker kit and a printed copy of the instructions, whether it's for Halloween or for Christmas, and that will be available in the shop as of tomorrow as well. Okay, so maybe that's something that some of you would enjoy. Thanks again for joining me. Happy scrapbooking. Bye for now.